Good morning, Cody. Welcome to Six Simple Questions. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me. And my name is Cody Gapare, and I am the owner and founder of Sealash, the first and, as far as I know, the only lash specifically for people who've lost their lashes through cancer or alopecia.
Right. So the next question is, how did you become the CEO of Sealash? What was that story that brought you there?
So my story begins way back in 2014. So in 2014, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Having had no sort of history of breast cancer or any cancer in my family, really, I really wasn't prepared for, it's like a diagnosis of breast cancer. And I remember walking into the Leighton Hospital and being told I had breast cancer. And that was really hard because at that time, I was a single mom. My family was in Africa. I was trying to work full time and just trying to hold everything together. So the journey really started because I really wanted to maintain a sense of normalcy in my life and still be able to look after my kids. So for me, I wanted to hide the fact that I was going through cancer for two reasons. First of all, it was just something to hold on to in a world that had gone topsy-turvy. And secondly, I didn't want my illness and everything that I was going through to impact my job because I didn't want to lose my job. So I decided that I was going to hide my cancer. And the only thing that gave me away was the fact that I didn't have lashes. So when I went and bought normal false lashes, I discovered that they attach onto existing lashes. So then I came up with this idea of a lash that you could wear even if you didn't have your own lashes. This is how Sealash was born.
Brilliant. It's a really inspirational story. And when Wynne heard you speak the first time, when we were in Vino's that night, she rang a friend straight away. She said, "No, I've already bought them. I've seen them in Tesco." So you're helping so many people. It's great. Obviously, with the business network, we like to ask a personal question about our members and our visitors. So I've got one or two for yourself. So passions and hobbies. When you have spare time, what do you do with it?
So in terms of passions and hobbies, I think around 2004 when I was diagnosed, I decided that I was going to live my life a bit differently. And I've got this thing that I either learn something new or do something that scares me. So so far I have climbed Ben Nevis, I have done Tough Mudder, I have done a triathlon, I have learned how to dance, and I have just taken up yoga, which at this point in time is really useful for keeping fit and for just really, it's a good way of spending time in this really challenging time.
And it is something you can do at home, and there's loads of YouTube videos and things like that to keep you going. So I listen to quite a few podcasts. Have you got one that you'd like to recommend?
Yes, there is one that is really good, and I think it resonates with me, and it's called The Ambitious Mom, by a lady called Kate Myersov. I can't really say her name. Her name is, but yeah, Moryoussef. And it's just, she speaks to mothers who are just doing amazing things, and it's a really amazing podcast.
Great. And books, have you got a book you'd like to recommend to everybody out there? Now we're reading a lot more, apparently. So
we are reading a lot more. There's a few books that I do like to read, that I read, and at the moment, in terms of a book that's like helping me to kind of remind me who I am and why I studied why I studied, is a book called Leaning by Sheryl Sandberg, and it's a really good book. And it looks at trying to climb the ladder from a female perspective, and what it is like for a woman trying to do the kind of things that I do. And it's a really, really good book, and it's amazing.
Thanks. And the final question is, any words of wisdom for us out there now during these current times? Anything you've found helps you or would like to say?
Yeah, I think for me at this point in time, we've always talked about it's like the VUCA world. And there is no time more VUCA than at this time. And it's really easy at this time to kind of forget what it's like when we talk about, it's like the Maslow's hierarchy of need is, we've been stripped back to the bare survival need, the bare survival people. And I think it is at this time where your foundations are shaken to the very core. Whatever changes you've always wanted to make in your life, that thing that you've always wanted to do, that thing that you've been too scared because, you've got work, you've got this, and you don't want to destabilize. The world is so destabilized at the moment. Take this time to make that drastic change. Take this time to be the person that you've always wanted to be. You can't be more scared than you are right now. So why not just do the things that you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's really agree with that. That's great. But well, thank you so much for doing this for us, Cody. It's been great. I know the Business Network members have asked for you to come back and talk to us when we're in a bit normal times, so we'll sort that one out.
I would love to.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.